Good evening, Facebook Nation, and welcome to yet another episode of Did You Hire 'Em Dead or Kill Them After You Got 'Em? I'm your host, Anthony Santangelo, National Sales Recruiter and Trainer for Automax Recruiting and Training. Before we bring our guest on this evening, Facebook Nation, hit the share button a little bit, hit the like button, as I've just shared it out myself on it. Tonight's show is going to be a little bit different. This is episode number 92 of the show. And week in and week out, you'll find me here on Tuesday evenings. And most of the time, it's been 8 o'clock Eastern. There's been some time changes occasionally, but 8 o'clock Eastern is the time frame. And the show has to, do with all things automotive. Well, our guest tonight is obviously a pillar in the automotive industry, and we'll talk about what's been going on at her dealership up in Nanuet, New York. But she also recently got engaged just a handful of days ago. So tonight's episode is going to be a little bit different, Facebook Nation. We're going to talk about love tonight. Before I bring Marissa on, unofficially, I have asked 3 different women to marry me in my life. To say yes and agree with it, one not. And fourth wanted me to propose to her for many years, but I chose not to. I never did. And love can be a very tricky thing, Facebook Nation, and especially in a car business. But when you meet that person, that means everything to you. You meet that person of your dreams, your soulmate, if you will. It's a life-changing thing that doesn't just affect you outside the walls, inside the walls of what you do. So in our case, the dealership with it. And our guest this evening is, I'm so happy for her, very much am. Again, she's a pillar in the automotive industry. She's a good person, very caring, very knowledgeable, intelligent. She even went to the right college. She went to Penn State. She's a huge social media presence out there. And she's been through a lot of things in her life. She has, and just seeing in the time I've known her, which is about 3 years or so, to see her come full circle and just evolve and find a dealership that she calls home, and to find a great guy in Mike, with that, to compliment her amazing, awesome dog, Brooklyn. I've had the privilege and honor to meet Brooklyn. She's awesome. And that, along with racing cars and all these wonderful things, she's going to share some amazing things with us tonight. Without further ado, very, very privileged and honored to present to you the newly engaged Marissa Molnar.
Hello. Hey. How are you doing today?
How do you do it? You go, hello, right? Did I do it the right way?
Yeah, hello. But now I got to go, hello.
So first things
it's a different kind of hello. Say again?
I said, first things first, let's just publicly acknowledge it. Congratulations on your engagement to
Thank
Mike.
You.
It's so awesome. And I know everyone on here wants to see that thing on your left hand. So why don't you show Facebook Nation the ring before we even start anything else here?
All right. So there it is. Wait, there it is.
There you go.
Got a little sapphire in there, my birthstone. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
You did good.
Were you a part of picking the ring out, or this?
So yeah, I picked it out. He picked out the stone for the center. I picked out the setting. I said I wanted sapphires on the outside of it. He did this promise ring for me. This is actually my grandmother's diamond earrings from, I think, like the 1920s or 1940s. And then he put sapphires around it. So that was kind of like the little promise thing. And then this guy came around like a week or two ago. So It's fresh. It's new.
So that is
Yeah.
just
And
terrific.
I heard that this was supposed to happen a while ago on Craig's show.
Yes.
But I forget what I think my mom threw the wrench in it. My mom's like, "Are you sure you want to?"
I was aware of that and sworn to secrecy, but I had known that for months, and I was sworn to secrecy. But obviously, since you know now, I can release that information that I was well aware of that. This was supposed to happen, I guess, live on Facebook, from my understanding, on the show in Ben Salem when you came down to do the show with Craig. With it so, but yes, he swore me to secrecy, and I did not tell anybody. But you know now, so it's okay.
My mother, he asked my mom, "What do you think? Do you think it's okay to do it on the show? Will she like it?" She goes, "I don't know." So that kind of like put the wrench in things. But whether here or there, I don't matter. It doesn't. When it's love, it does. It doesn't matter.
Absolutely. So. You have to do me one favor tonight, Marissa.
Mm-hmm.
I love all the little voices you do. So throw some of those voices out tonight during the show if you could for me. So I like when you do those voices,
Once we get into it, I'm sure I'll throw a little something up there. You gotta keep people
I just wanted to make sure, so which is awesome. But before we go into the engagement, and again, Facebook, for those that don't know, I never script my show. I only ask one question, the same every week, into the life of that little boy or little girl when they grow up, and everything else I do off of feel, the way I sold cars. I don't script it, but I did script questions tonight for the first time ever about the engagement. And we'll put Marissa on the spot and ask the hard questions to get the real answers on this. But before we get to that, let's just talk about the car industry a little bit here before we go into the juicy tidbits of the proposal things, and that got it just sat right next to you there. There he is. How you doing, buddy? Congratulations to you as well, bud.
Thank you. Keep talking. I won't interrupt. I'm not here.
No, you're more than welcome to join us. I might put you on the spot tonight too, there, Paisan. So we'll see on it. So, but before we get into that, talk to me a little bit about New York. What's going on in Nanuet, New York, at Grand Prize Chevrolet Buick GMC? What's going on? You're doing some live videos, some good stuff happening. So talk to us a little bit about that before we go back into the juicy side of this topic tonight, which is going to be love.
Yeah. So how far back do you want us to go? I mean, I'm New York. I represent New York. He represents Jersey. So we got the tri-state pretty much covered.
I'm talking more about what's going on in the dealership now. Mike's obviously a sales manager, Route 46 Chrysler Ram. You're a salesperson over at a Grand Prize, Chevy Buick GMC, and Nanuet. So what's been going on in North Jersey and up in New York? What's been going on up there?
So with everything that's been going on with COVID, it was like kind of that slow get back to work. We kind of got back to work maybe the end of last month. We were definitely up and running, maybe for a few weeks by then. Once we got into phase 2, phase 1, I was there for maybe like 2 days for phase 1, and then phase 2 kicked in, and all of a sudden it was like, all right, now we got to let the people walk through the door. There's doesn't have to be an appointment or anything anymore. We've been selling more and more cars, and now the biggest thing is we're hitting a industry, like a inventory issue. So now we don't have as many, we don't have the cars, because while we were all in quarantine, GM shut down, a lot of other Jeeps shut down, all the other manufacturers shut down, and they started manufacturing things for masks, ventilating devices, and things like that to help our country. So when they did that, the cars weren't being made. So now we have this kind of gap. So we don't have enough cars. We have maybe a month and a half's worth of inventory, and we should really have about 3 months worth of inventory. Used car market's going crazy. To buy anything from auction, from what I'm hearing from my used car manager, is going up and up and up. It's hard to get them. Then you also have the title issues because of the way DMV is working. I'm hearing stories that people are going online in Jersey and they count about 200 heads, and then they tell everyone to come back tomorrow, try again. So there's going to be a lot of backup now.
Yeah. So how are you overcoming that to be able to pay the bills and pay for a wedding as well? How are you both overcoming that right now in your respective dealerships?
Well, with us, we just got to keep doing what we can do. I mean, we're down to one Traverse, and that's kind of like a bread and butter car.
Wow.
So we
Yeah.
only have one. We're doing a lot of swapping, trying to move cars around between dealers, but just I'm selling cars before they even get in. I mean, that's really what we've gotten down to. It's almost, I don't know if you can say if it's like the 90s, because in the 90s you used to place your orders and people would wait. Now people will wait a week, 2 weeks for the car to land to be able to get the deal that they want to get.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I started in '97, so it wasn't as much in the late '90s, but in the late '80s and early '90s, especially with Toyota, the Cressida, when they made it, it was like, here it is, coming off the truck. If you don't want it, there's like 1,800 people in line that'll pay full price for the vehicle, and that's how it was for the imports back then. It was just a tickle ahead of my time when I started, with that. But to be able to overcome that, but there is some products that have been used to that. Subaru is used to taking orders with that. So how are you making it? Because you're in year 6, Marissa, selling cars. Is that correct?
I'm kind of in that transition between 5, 6. So I think we were at like 5.5 by this point. I think once we get to November, September, yeah, it goes by too fast.
Because there's 6 years in the business. So how are you adapting to taking orders? What's in the pipeline and what's coming in at Grand Prize with that? Trying to do a locate if you can, or trying to find vehicles that are inbound and selling it that way, getting a deposit, and as we say in the car industry, taking the person off the market. With that, how are you adapting to that now in your 5.5 years in the business, which is different than how you've done it in the last 5.5 years for your generation of selling?
Yeah, so it's changed. It's like you said, it is getting deposits on deals. It's weird because the customers aren't used to it. There's going to be a transition for the customers because their bargaining power is starting to get taken away from them, because they're starting to realize real quick that the car that they want, even though you would think with it being like a 2020 or something like that, it should be, everyone should have 1, 2, 3, 5 of them, but it's not the case, and they're learning pretty quick. I have customers that shopped around and they're like, you're the only dealership within 200 miles that actually has this car. So it's tough. It's like I'm almost waiting for 3 people to be in on the same car, which is going to be that one Traverse 3LT in white, because it's like Bergen County color. Everyone likes white up here from Jersey, so it's tough. I'm taking deposits on cars that are inbound. I'm customizing. I'm doing a lot of customizations. So if someone wanted a certain kind of car, a certain kind of look, I'm just taking whatever I have in inventory and doing what I can. I mean, I've had I'm on my second car getting sent out for black rims. I've done the black badging. You want this red line look? Okay, I could give you most of that, and I'll keep it affordable for you. And it's, you try, like I could sell, like I used to be able to sell Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram. Now I could sell Chevy, GMC, Buick, Cadillac. So I start flipping. So like the other day, I think I had this customer that's probably going to buy this week from me. The 3LT didn't work for her. She really wanted a sunroof. There's nothing out there unless you go for a higher trim level currently to be able to get that sunroof. I mean, they make it in that trim, but it's not out there. There's nothing out there. So flipping her to a Buick is a few bucks more, but it gets her the things that she wants, and that's what it means to her.
Once you're improvising, you're calling the audibles, if you will, with that. Are you also taking the step of the vehicles that are in the pipeline that can be changed with different equipment? Are you able to are you changing that around a little bit for those vehicles that you can change?
We're not that far in the process right now that I'm sure if the pipeline isn't filling up fast enough, we probably will be starting to do edits on vehicles. I mean, with everything with COVID, we're not sure how fast these cars, from once you get a VIN number to when it's going to show up the door. We're still not sure about that. I mean, I had a guy, we didn't order before COVID, maybe like 3 weeks before COVID. When everything shut down, I didn't have a VIN number. So the car actually is now going to be here in about 7 to 10 days. So if that kind of puts a perspective on you on holy, I took the order probably end of February, and now we're probably finally going to get it. It's taken, and everybody, all the customers have been really accepting of what's going on in our society right now, and they're just rolling with the changes. Some people are getting antsy because they really want the new car and everything, and they want to I have people getting nervous. My last deal, she called me about 5 times in a day. She's like, I want to see the car, I want to see the car. Like, do we actually have a car, or did someone sell it out from under you? Because you'll get that at other dealerships. If you don't mark that car sold, or figure out how to mark the car sold that's in the pipeline, it's very easy. Mike, you've dealt with that, where you have to work a strategy to make sure you don't sell a car out from underneath another salesperson, and then bad CSI.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And up in between New York and Jersey, and I'll throw Pennsylvania in there too. Trust is a very tough thing to earn, and there's a lot of mistrust at times because of bait and switches of past results, and different things happen. And sometimes it's truly an accident. Like, nothing was done maliciously. It just was an accident, and something happened. And then obviously everybody goes crazy in our wonderful impatient ways of being in the Northeast for all 3 of us, in all 3 states, in New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania.
You can throw Connecticut in there.
And Connecticut as well, right? Exactly. But you're adapting, you're growing. Things are moving about, which is so exciting that way. With it, which is good, because obviously people are still looking to buy cars. The car industry still continues. There's records being set across the country, and those that are willing to adapt and make the adjustments will see their numbers skyrocket. And that's what you're seeing, because you're willing to do that, which is awesome stuff, which is great. I usually ask this question at the end of the show, but I'm going to ask it now, because obviously I'm going to shift gears here. How can people reach you, Marissa, if they have any need for any type of vehicle, any make, any model? Obviously, you ship it as well, and all those different things. Whatever you're comfortable sharing for your contact. How can they reach you?
So at Grand Prize and Nanuet, we actually do click, ship, and buy. So really, it streamlines the whole entire process. We do all the cleaning products and everything like that. So we bring in either certified cars or whatever you're looking to buy, and we make that process so much easier. Again, you'll see my comments down below. You'll see me tagged on this quite a few times. Just reach out to me that way. You can always go through my cell phone. Text message is pretty standard for me right now, and that's 973-229-4373. Once this is done, I'll put this in the comments so you guys can be able to click and reach out to me. And even people in the industry, if you have any questions, me and Michael are here for you.
Awesome. And Facebook, you heard it there. Obviously, Marissa Perez, you text her, so you do not call her. Text her only.
Within reason. Reasonable hours.
Reasonable hours, they are recently
11,
engaged.
Not after 10.
They are recently engaged, and Brooklyn can be needy at times. The puppy dogs. Where is Brooklyn? Yeah. Is she around?
She's with my parents. She's with her grandparents. So since she had the when we moved to the new house, my parents
surgery, right?
Took her, and then she tore her ACL. So she's been recovering down there with nice short walks on the beach.
Okay, and she's in South Carolina, right?
Yeah, Myrtle Beach.
That's what I thought. That's awesome. So she's an awesome dog. She really is on it. So all right. So now we took care of the business side. So let's go into the juicy side of what the real topic was this evening. So again, hit the share button, everybody. Hit some hearts for this wonderful, lovely couple here. And we're not going to hold back at all. So I'm just going to unleash it. So again, congratulations for the 20th time. I'm so happy for you guys. It's so exciting. So let's start with the first question here. How did Mike propose to you?
Mike proposed to me on a bike ride. So since COVID, we picked up 2 bicycles, and we've been nonstop bike riding. and we bike right here, bike right there. During this whole thing, we stopped in DC for a second when we went down to see my parents and did a little bike ride there for a little bit, just to kind of stretch your legs, because coming up from here down to there, you're probably in there for what, 5 hours at that point?
Yeah, roughly.
So we got to ride our bikes for a few hours, take a little break, and be able to see all the statues and monuments before the riots and everyone's started to destroy everything. So we were fortunate for that. And, one of our stops, we went for a bike ride, and, he goes, my legs hurt. I got to go sit down and stretch. And then I lost him. I lost him in the turn. So I start looking for him, and we're in like a beach area block, and I couldn't find. All of a sudden I found him. He's sitting down. I go and I sit down next to him, and we start talking about regular old relationship stuff, and how we can make our relationship better. And then he goes, there's something that I could do to make this relationship a little bit better. He kind of went on that route. And what'd you do?
You could keep talking. You're making a good start.
I made a good, right? I mean, it was magical. The sweat was just sparkling from his face and my face, and he asked. And then right after that, the church bell started ringing. No lie.
Wow. No kidding. Did he get down on one knee? Yeah.
He refuses to say that he did. But I think I saw some dirt on his knee when he got up.
Mike, I've gotten down.
Big people really can't get down. You know that, right? Your knee. I was on the bike. I had a knee brace on. The whole routine. But it was beautiful. It was at the beach. We were on the beach block. We stopped right there, and right behind us was a park that had one of the first churches ever built in Bethany Beach, Delaware.
Okay.
So.
First Christian beach?
Christian church, I think it was, right on the thing. And the bells started going off as soon as, that was in, and she was doing it in the video.
You made me cry. Oh.
Yeah, that's her bank card, by the way.
Yeah, if you need it, you could use it. I'll treat you to lunch. But wait, how does this camera work?
Send it to him after.
Guess what? The church bells are ringing. What? The church bells are ringing! And his family thought, when we sent it to his family, they thought that we superimposed the church bells behind us. But it really was the church. That was just one of those things, meant to be like a sign.
And obviously both you are very active in the church as well, so I'm sure that added some more, just that perfect timing, with that. Mike, you said, us big guys have to stick together, obviously, and I get that. We're big. Both you and I are bigger guys with it. So, and I knew if you were going to come on tonight, so at one point you're going to do this at the store, because I didn't know if Mike would be there or not. I was going to answer this question, Mike, and I'm trying to word it the right way, and I just need a little bit of leeway here. And I think I've earned enough currency to ask this question. From a big guy to another, sometimes you get stereotyped, judge a book by its cover, right? Just being a bigger guy, or a bigger lady, type of thing. There's some judgments that happen in this world and everything. How have you, Mike, overcome that? And obviously, Marissa's a wonderful lady, very appealing lady, great lady, could be your wife, so exciting there and everything. It's like, how did you let your heart shine in the midst of that and show that obviously that, I guess, for lack of a better term, big people can find love as well, I guess. And again, I'm not skinny, so I feel like I have a little currency asking this question. I hope it's coming across the right way. But I knew if you're going to come on, I was going to ask you this question. So can you give us some feedback on that? And I hope I came across the right way.
Well, first of all, you'll never embarrass me, or I'll never take anything the wrong way, because you can't be a New Yorker and have thin skin. So you could basically tell me where to go and how to get there. It never bothers me in any way, shape, or form. Until somebody wants to write the check to pay my bills, I really don't care. And one of the things that never stopped me through my life was if I always went after the prettiest, best things in the world. Why? Let them tell me no. And we're in the car business for a reason. And you know what they say, coffee's for closers, right? I guess I'm a good closer. And I just do what I got to do. And I don't let weight or anything stand in my way in any way, shape, or form. I'll do what anybody else wants to do and stuff like that. And not for nothing, it's all about your personality and your heart.
Mm-hmm.
I wear it on my sleeve a lot, sometimes too much.
Mm-hmm.
And you just go with it. And you know what? What's the worst that could happen? They're going to tell you no. Okay, next. Because you know why? The other guy treated him like a jerk. And sometimes that's really it. And it's a lot of, you know, heavier people and people that don't look right or something always have the mentality of, well, I can't do that. They're not going to like me, or they're not going to, you know, this person's not going to enjoy my company, or this, that, the other thing. And for what? How do you know where they've been or where they're going to go? Plus, I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread. So that's mentally, and we're laughing, and you're listening to me, and she's laughing, but she really knows that I talk like that all the time, and that's how I am. And you got to live life to the best of your abilities.
What's your favorite phrase? I'm going to talk.
And every day, you know, people that work with me or anything, I've always told everybody, I'm an Adonis. I don't know what you see. I wake up in the morning and I see 180 pounds in the mirror. That's it.
Yeah, the most unattractive thing is letting your insecurity show. So sometimes, you know, you have a rough day, and I come home and I tell him how much I feel like a failure and I feel like a loser. And to him, that's the most unattractive thing I can do, is just put myself down.
Yeah, you just gotta go with it. And you know, if you see something and you like it, you just listen. What's the worst thing that can happen? We're in the car business, so the thing we hear the most every day is no.
And what do you always tell me? He tells his family, he goes, don't listen to Marissa all the time. You got to tell her no. How many times?
At least 7.
At least 7 times. So, you know, you got to just keep asking. Keep asking. I mean, come on. Look at Grant Cardone. How long did it take him to get his girl? He knew it was going to be her, and he knew the road would probably be rough.
So weight or anything like that, I don't, you know, that doesn't stand in my way. Job wise, we might have to do a show in about a week from now, because I might be taking on a different adventure that maybe we could talk about. I'm not going to talk about it now because I'm not 100% sure on where God in this world is going to take me right now. But we got some pretty big things on the horizon. I'm not back to work yet in Jersey. Yeah, but if you need anything, you could contact me. My cell phone number she'll put up is 201-574-3500.
Talk slower. They can't hear you.
It's the easiest
Not
number.
Everyone's from New York and New Jersey. They can't talk that fast and listen that fast.
So again, and if you do need anything, you could always see my mentor, which is Paulie Chack at Route 46, or Dave Cuglietta at Route 46, or me, and I'll take care of you there.
Yep.
Lot of things coming up in the horizon for us, some new adventures that we're going to go on. And, you know, it's like one of those things. What do? You got to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. It's the only way to get better. And it's kind of like you're sick of working for yourself.
This is definitely the most uncomfortable position I think millions of us are actually going through. I think we kind of lost it. I don't know if anyone's down here following us here right now while Anthony tries to jump back into his own show. And no, I mean, a lot of people are going through a lot of hard times. Like as Michael said, he's not yet back to work. They're currently running at a slower, I mean, even Scott said they cut BDC, and he was a BDC rep I used to work with all the time over at Nielsen. So my BDC at my dealership, they actually kept my BDC on. During the quarantine, they kept the BDC working. They had the head BDC manager helping and doing and running all the deals during the quarantine, helping people with kind of like that process before they started bringing on the salespeople. So it was a step-by-step process. The one thing that I think I'm worried about the most with this whole COVID is that in our area, if it starts to rise again, that they're going to start to shut down the dealerships again. and how that's going to affect people. I mean, a lot of the people that come in actually have jobs. You know, they were working, a lot of first responders, a lot of EMTs, and, you know, Michael, we have a family who was a first responder that is NYPD. And, oh, I think if we're not here, I think we're restarting. Anthony, you there with us? I don't see you here. You kind of are a little lost on here.
Is that us or him?
This is us. That's him.
I figured that out. I see my picture, but
yeah.
Is it him or us?
I think we're still on. Let me see if I could get something going and try to keep him in the show with us. All right. Hey.
I'm not sure what happened here.
All right. Can I put you back on the show then?
Yeah, put me back on. I mean, you've been going there because I'm having a Wi-Fi connection issue.
All right.
I'm on my.
There we go. Oh. All right, you're back on your show, Anthony.
You can't pick him up.
Can you see?
I can.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I heard you the whole entire time.
Okay.
I'm having a Wi-Fi issue. I heard everything you said there. New adventure with with Mike Sinovy there. This is what I'm talking about tonight, but obviously I'm sure you'll let me know whenever the time comes. With that, all those wonderful things there that you guys have been saying.
Yeah, Anthony, I want to answer Eli's statement I see here. I don't know if you can follow with me. Eli Morales says, I'm worried that people's credit will start to show decreasing near the future and short supply for manufacturers. So I kind of am like the guinea pig too. I mean, we're all in the same boat if we have leases and things like that. So I can tell you from my personal experience with Al. Oh, we're jumping. He's kind of.
We're just keep going there. I'm just trying to get that connection here. So.
All right. So with Ally, the way they were working out was they had a thing to sign up online or something like that for 120-day deferral. I signed up. I got an email. It says you don't need to do anything else, and that's it. So I didn't make my month's payment because I did this in March, so I didn't make April's payment. And then May, I get a phone call from collections saying, hey, you didn't make your April payment. And I said, hey, well, what about that email? Oh, we have no record of it. So then that went into, they set me up with a deferral. I made my payment for April. Then, was it May, June? The end of June, I saw on my Equifax that my point, I dropped to like 70-something points, because there was a reported 30-day late payment on the bureau. So the way the process works, if your customers are having the same complications that I have, obviously make sure you call your company every month, because obviously their computer systems aren't ready to handle everything that our country's going through. And they have it set up that automatically it reports to the bureaus. So it's going to report to Equifax and whatever bureaus that they report to as well. So that was my issue. I talked to Equifax. They're doing the dispute for me. It should take 30 days. Ally says that I did an equal dispute with them. Their resolution takes 45 days. So, and then the funny thing is I did a few posts on Instagram. You could go check that out and see my story, and you can share that with your customers too if they're experiencing the same things. They're not the only one going through this, and they're not in this, we're all in this together. And so Ally reached out to me from my post. I commented to them. They said, we'll have it handled. They had people reach out to me to do the resolution. I then got a letter in the mail June 16th. The envelope was dated June 16th. I think I got it June 25th. And the letter in the envelope was dated May 1st, saying, oh, by the way, we reported everything to collections. So it's just a complete mess. The process is not prepared to handle everything that's going on. So Eli, let's see, what else did you say?
Could I interject there for a second, please?
Yeah.
Eli, as a sales manager and a next level guy, here's what I'm going to tell you about worrying about people's credit that it might hit the next couple of months. Make believe we're going into the slow season. Build your bank and sell whatever you could right now and work extra harder just in case it does happen. Don't worry about tomorrow. Worry about today. Make the money.
Yeah, absolutely. Eli's my former finance manager. Eli did F&I for years. He's out of the car industry now, but we worked together for a number of years. He's fun paper with itself. It's great guy. Eli is with itself. I want to keep going with my questions here, and I apologize for technical difficulties. I don't know why my hotspot's not working, and the Wi-Fi in the hotel is not working either. So it's double whammy. So obviously, before I got froze up there, the proposal, which was great, getting down on one knee, and I heard you say it's about confidence, Mike, believing in yourself and look in the mirror and think you're 180 pounds versus 280. I get that. And I agree with you, with it. So there's more than someone's, weight and all that. It's more their character with it. So I think you said before, Marissa, was there some tears shed when you proposed? Or
I started crying. I'm usually like tough as nails because, being a woman in the auto industry, you have to be, to take on some of the comments and things that, you see in this industry that you're in disbelief about. Like, did they really just say that? But you got to be tough. I mean, we're tri-state people.
We're on new adventures, Anthony. We support the police. I support brute force, sandbags. So, and working out on the bicycle. We're workout people. So we're
a different breed. Michael is a huge workout. He discovered sandbags and lifting and working out with sandbags. We canceled our gym membership.
Anthony, life changer if you never tried it before. And you could take it to the hotel and you throw it on the floor of the hotel. They ain't going to hear it. Life changer.
You can make it your carry-on bag.
You will be sweating more than you sweated.
It's sandbags, you said?
Bruteforce.com. I don't get paid to do that. They're military and firefighter and law enforcement backed. They're the owners of the company. My brother-in-law, who is NYPD, thank you for your service, and please God protect him every day. Came down to visit us on vacation in Delaware, has his sandbag, and I'm watching him work out with that. And I said, "What is this?" And he goes, "Come on, try it." Well, I tried it. I've been hooked ever since, and I could go to the gym and do that, Planet Fitness full body workout and walk on the treadmill for a half an hour and walk out of the gym and feel nothing. Well, I did this sandbag for about 10 minutes. And when I was done, I was literally a pool of sweat. And I said, holy cow. So it's what I do. I do sandbag, and then we're up to about roughly 8 to 10 miles. We're strong on a bike. Yeah. For cardio too. And it's a game changer. Anthony, you could take, I don't know about a plane with a 50-pound bag they're going to charge you for.
It's a carry-on. It's a carry-on.
You could take it anywhere and do it.
They make small versions.
Because obviously, in the cars, we hear the word sandbag. We're sandbagging deals.
Next month.
We're sandbagging deals for next month. You're going to get the spot money when there's spot money on Saturday trying to sandbag deals. I did my share of sandbagging. I even sandbag campaigns sometimes until I had the contract signed.
Yeah, we did that too.
Yeah, so absolutely. So I get that's some awesome stuff, man. That's some great exercise there. That's wonderful. I want to go to my next question here, which kind of flows into our conversation here. Is there an advantage to having your partner be in the same industry, and is there a disadvantage as well?
Yeah, the disadvantage is some people have hired couples in the past, and it was just reckless. And I think we've had positivity in every dealership we've worked at.
Well, Anthony, let me interject by this. It's rough. It's rough as a couple at home because I see so much potential in her, and she does in me too. That when we come home, if we go the wrong way with a conversation or we talk about our day, we I don't want to say beat each other up about it, but
like you could have made this deal.
Yeah, like you should have did this. Why didn't you do this? What are you doing all day? Because we want more for each other. So it comes a time when she'll look at me and be like, "Listen, you're being a little too hard on me right now." But me, I just go into car mode and beast mode, and it's like, "Hey, what are you doing? It has to be this, and this, and this." And all this talking and talking and talking, you lost it. you go back to basics. So it gets a little rough. Working together, a couple of dealerships we did work together with as partners in there. We never had an issue, and it was more the fact of the higher anarchy sales manager or the owner coming up and saying, listen, you got to lay off her a little and give her a little break. You're a little rough on her. Well, yeah, I'm rough on her because I know she could do it.
He's made me cry, what, 2 times at the other? Yeah.
Couple.
Because he doesn't give out deals to me. He gives out deals to everybody. It's not like I'm getting fed at the dealership. He makes me work for it. And man, he's tough on me. He'll sit down and go over 2-3 deals with me. All right, why haven't we made a deal on this? And he'll dissect the deal. He has no problem doing that. We've done that before. Oh, here, you might have to hold Anthony because I got 20% left. I'm gonna have to throw him on the charger. Here, you have Anthony. I'm gonna get the charger.
You know, and that's a very valid thing. And you guys met in the dealership, Mike. Is that correct? And then you were a manager, and Marissa was a salesperson. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes.
Okay, and that can be a little bit tricky at times because we know in the car industry sometimes we get a little bit chatty, with that. So you probably were not giving her bones, which for those who don't know what that means giving her deals that are kind of already done. Is what that means for those who aren't in the car industry. So that way there isn't that feedback that happens. So it can be a little bit complicated at times. But the other side of it, making each other better, that's an important thing, obviously. But would you agree that there's a certain time that when you are at home, you got to kind of tune out, or not tune out, turn off the car industry and just enjoy each other? Would you agree with that?
I'm very big on that, and it's very difficult for her, and that's sometimes where we get it a little is that because we do this every day. We come home and hey, you didn't ask me about my day. I had this, blah, 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 and I'm like, listen,
I'm done.
I'm done. I
stared at the blue screen for 12 hours.
Probably one of the best of the best, and somebody taught me this a long time ago, which was really Corley. Taught me when you leave here and you put the key in the door, your mind stays in the door. You go home, it's a different life. You do what you got to do. It's the only way to keep you refreshed, recharged, and ready for the next day.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that I struggled with in my 19 years in the trench before I became a trainer with that. I remember, I've been married one time before. And I remember, in 2004 coming home and she's already been home since 6:30 and she's hanging out with the dog and relaxed. And I come in like a ball of fire at 10:30 at night. And you believe this and that, this person's that, and, every 4-letter word in the book. And it's just, it definitely can wear. We got to leave that and separate that. I don't know if you know Jesse Kingding or not, but he's a sales manager at Ben Davis Chevrolet in Auburn, Indiana. And every morning I start watching his videos at 7:40 a.m. for the last year and a half. And Jesse's significant other is Kelly Marvin. He loves her, love her queen. And Jesse has basically, I don't want to say perfected, but he's done a very good job of knowing how to leave that at the dealership and just enjoy that time with Kelly. And it's inspiring. It very much is to see couples to be able to do that, which is awesome on it. Going back to how you met in the dealership, was there a love at first sight, or did it start as friendships and grow stronger, as the REO Speedwagon song says, or how did that kind of come about?
So I always put it as, I've heard his name because I was working at that dealership for 2 years. I've heard his name thrown around so many times. Stories about him, stories about how the deals he throws up, how much he taught everybody at the dealership, and how to make growth, make relationships, and everything. And then I see him come into the dealership like a ball of fire. And my perspective of a nice, clean dealership was, like the Porsche mentality, like customer comes in, you treat them with white gloves and everything's, quiet, pristine and clean. And then he comes in and he's screaming and yipping and yelling and hooting and singing. That girl is on fire. And he'll go, fire! And everyone just stops what they're doing. The customers look at you. I feel embarrassed. And I'm like, so this is the Arante they've all been talking about. Like, this is where the stories come from. And, I don't know if it was love at first sight, but I just got upset with him. I was upset because I see him and he go and he teach people and he'd get in a group of people and he'd start talking to them and teaching them and stuff like that. And I'm thinking like, this guy doesn't give a crap. Like who is he? I want to sell more cars than all these guys here. Like I want to learn everything. I want to learn 1,001 ways to skin a cat. And he's over there teaching them. Like, why the hell isn't he teaching me? Like I was getting upset with that, but you know, then I finally got him to start teaching me, and then, you know, then I actually could sell cars.
Well, you did pretty well yourself before you met Mike, so you got to take some credit for yourself, Marissa. You know, and you've always been a great salesperson. Every week I talk about you in my training classes. I tell all the ladies, and you know, I arguably get more women hired in cars than any other trainer in the country in my automax classes. And I tell all the ladies to follow you, and I say, listen, I can't take credit for Marissa. I didn't get her in the car industry, but she'll be able to help you through those tough days when you have to have thick skin as a lady in the car industry, because she's done it. And she's a proud New York gal, and she crushes it, you know. And I say that every week, wherever I'm at in the country, I'm in Tennessee, I'm in Texas, I'm in Cali, I'm in Philly, in New York, wherever it may be, you know, with it. So you do a fantastic job with that, you know, on it. So when is the wedding date? Do you have a date yet, or?
No.
We don't.
Not yet. Okay.
We tossed around October.
So, October as in 3 months, or the following October?
I don't know. Who cares?
We don't know. All I can tell you is, I can tell you this: it will be on a beach.
Yeah.
I will be in the pool at the end of the night. And see, you guys don't know a lot about my family. Marissa really didn't. Party wars, should I say? Maybe.
Uncle Buck. Party.
It will be one big party. That's. I want to celebrate that way. I want to be at the water. That's my happy place. I want to be in the pool by the end of the night, and I want my family there, you know, my cousins. And, you know, we were talking about family sizes and this. And, you know, the other day I was talking to her. I was like, just my immediate cousins, there's probably over 30 of us. So that's really what matters. And after this whole COVID thing, we both look at each other, and the only thing that matters at the end of the day is your health and your family. Nothing else.
Right. It's all relationships, and that's the most important thing. The best thing you give someone is your time, very much so on it. So, you know, from my experience, and I say this question for last, and Marissa, tell me if I'm wrong, and I know you will, and I know you'll hold me accountable as you always have with it. Chocolate, wine, and dogs are very important to a lady. They very, very much are. You know, on it. So, how important is it that, you know, Brooklyn, obviously, and I know Brooklyn's with your parents right now, South Carolina, recovering with her ACL, but how important is it for, you know, a woman loves her dog, and there's always an argument that a woman loves a dog more than a man type of thing. How important is it to have that, you know, the dog likes your potential spouse? You know, does that make sense?
You can leave the chocolates at home.
Okay.
You could bring the wine.
Wine there.
Right.
And don't be fooled about Brooklyn. She's living the dream that all of us wish she could live. She's at the beach being pampered by her parents.
Yes.
That you can't imagine when you go there. It's like, you know, it's a Paris Hilton dog at this point of her life. So don't be fooled about the dog not being here and over there. Marissa loves her dog. I can tell you that very much.
Yes.
Many a nights, you know, there's been a tear in the eye saying, I miss my dog. I miss my dog. I happen to be allergic to the dog. Would I want the dog? Yes.
But would he take medication to have the dog?
No.
So in your case, you've made the exception where I don't want to say you chose Mike over Brooklyn. I mean,
no,
but
definitely not.
No,
definitely not.
Mike can get the basement. The dog will get the bed with me.
Anthony, I just happened to luck out between the move and her parents. Now her mother and father, that's the father's best friend right now. And the dog is literally living a person's dream right now in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, with the pond in the backyard.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I think Brooklyn's an awesome dog. And I still remember, Marissa, the first time I met you, you were racing your Miata at the Meadowlands parking lot. For those who don't know what that is, that's where the New York Giants play in East Rutherford, New Jersey. And you're like, can you watch Brooklyn when I do my lap? And I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's classic me. Here, hold my beer. I mean, my dog.
Right, hold his leash, right, for the dog, and I always love your post on Facebook when Brooklyn has her racing goggles on and all that and everything, which is so cool. So that's just exciting. That really is on it. So what's for? I know, Mike, you had some things in the future you don't want to talk about tonight, but the things that you can talk about, what's the future? What's that future plans for Mr. and Mrs. or the future Mr. and Mrs. Arante?
Mr. and Mrs. Arante realized through this whole thing that you were working way too much and not having enough us and family time. Mm-hmm. And it's time maybe to do something to the point where it'll be, obviously the money will be a lot better. The risk is a lot more. But it'll give us time to spend time, take vacations. Marissa witnessed me over these last 2 months being able to be at a beach, the different Michael at a beach area where there's flat land, where I get up in the morning and the first thing I do is go take a bike ride, go work out with a sandbag. Totally different mentality, calmness. So
a lot less stress.
We learn that you got to take a step back once in a while. And the people that are making it and making real money and are doing a little things different in their life. And we'll talk about it. We could probably talk about it in about a week and a half, 2 weeks.
I mean, the thing with the auto industry is this whole, I hate to say it, but a lot of us are almost like disposable. I mean, in all reality, we thought we had a position where we would be the last to lose a job. And it's like the first ones to be let go, and it really puts a perspective on you that, all this time, all this effort I put in here, and it's like we're out on our ass for a while. I mean, his dealership he used to work at, they had schedules. What kind of schedules were they giving the salespeople? I mean, like,
Anthony, one of the things I'm going to say, and people out there that are probably listening that's been around for an extremely long time. One of the things that's coming about in this business more and more lately is people fear talent. And when they fear talent, or they got somebody next to them that makes them not look good, I don't want to tell you the rest, but you know what happens. But that's what's happening in this business right now. Mm-hmm. They'll get the people that'll come in and just want to work around the clock, and they're at the old car days, you heard this term a lot, zeros. But they're a body. They'll do the job, and the computer does it all for them. So a lot of dealerships right now, and there are ones that don't, but a lot of them now, they're afraid of talent. Talented people come in, and they're just, where I embrace talent. Why? What does talent do? Talent's going to make you better. It's going to want you to outperform, and you're going to make your staff better, and this better, and that better. But people get complacent, and there are a lot of dealerships out there that are like that now.
Sleepy stores.
There's so much more potential for some of these dealerships, but they're all, they're afraid of talent. So, but it is what it is. I've never talked bad about any place or anybody I worked with, and you'll never hear me do that ever, because I don't do that. It makes no sense for me in any way, shape, or form, because I really care about me and her and my kids and my family. And we just go from there. But we're getting into a scary part where we know the business and everything is changing, especially through the COVID. COVID. She yells at me because I say it wrong. The man-made, whatever. I think you're going to see a lot of changes in this business, and I'm especially going to. We'll talk about it.
So, I mean, the thing with it, my perspective here on the auto industry is that, like, our conversations we've had is that the hours of going is getting too much. And a lot of the things that some articles I've seen, well, actually, they're podcasts. So podcasts I've watched, they talk about how everything's changing and that they're getting, like the one, like Scott said, they got rid of the BDC. Like, are salespeople really going to sit there and make those calls? Well, how come we created a BDC in the first place? Because the salespeople wouldn't sit there and make those calls. So, I mean, but then you also have in the defense of the salespeople, because I am one. Well, I get a customer in front of me, and my customer has me on a 3-hour marathon, test driving 3 cars, working numbers on 2 cars. And, during that time, 30, 60 calls could have been made, 60, 70 calls could have been made. And it's that prioritizing and balancing time. And a lot of us in sales have a little bit of ADHD to ourselves, and we get a little distracted and we get a little off topic. And, maybe is having us work normal 8-hour shifts, is that going to help us reshift our focus so that when we are there, we're more here to work than saying, well, I'm here for 12 hours. I could take my time to do this. I could take my time to do that because I just got to get it done sometime within 12 hours. It is cutting down the time and allowing us, like back in the 90s. I mean, fast food restaurants weren't open all hours of the night. They weren't open. You were able, it was like, oh shit, I got to go home and cook dinner for my family if I wanted to eat. And that's what this whole quarantine taught us is we started cooking from home. We started having, people over and cooking, and it really was just about going back to the basics when it came to life. And I mean, it would be nice to see the auto industry put us like 9 to 5s or 8-hour split shifts like some dealerships do. Call it millennial, the millennial way of doing things, but it's hard. How do you keep staff if they're always getting burnt out? How do you keep good people if they're always getting burnt out? Because I know personally, I'll have months, I'll have like 1 or 2 months, then I go and I kill it. And then after that, I'm just, I become that first week sleeper. Because you push so hard and you get burnt out. And that was his thing. We've always had that talk about, is just me getting burnt out, and I need to take the time off and not put the extra hours in.
Balance is important. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, and you have to have that balance. And I get it, because I didn't learn that until after I left the trench and became a trainer. But we all need our place. We need our time. If it's a home cooked meal, spending time with the family, the dog, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, or Orange County, California, whatever it may be, finding that place that you call home and your paradise, and to recharge those batteries is important. And I finally learned that after 23 years in the business, and that's why I got that second place out in Cali, for that reason. And so it's the same thing. So that's an awesome stuff and great advice there that you guys have on it. So, Mike, Marissa, thank you so much again for your time. I appreciate it. I apologize for technical difficulties. I have no idea why the Wi-Fi did this. My hotspot's never gone out on me, ever, so I don't know what happened. But we got through it. And again, congratulations again on your engagement. And most importantly, congratulations on just having a true respect and honor and appreciation and love for one another, which I know the ring's important, obviously, but to have that love and appreciation is more important than a ring or paper. It's that respect and that partnership, and you guys have that, and that's a wonderful thing, and I'm so happy for both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, well, I usually end the show, but because I'm on FaceTime here, Marissa, how do I end all my videos?
How do you end your videos?
Yeah, you should know.
Goodness. Oh my goodness.
What is my hashtag?
You gotta be all in.
Right, go all in, right?
Go all in. Well, what's my ending? Well, my ending thing.
Enjoy the ride.
All right. So how do I? We done? That's it?
You can disconnect from there, but enjoy the ride, Facebook Nation. Have a good night. And, of course, as always, go all in.
And enjoy the ride.
Support the police.
I said enjoy the ride. I said it.
All right. Say good night, Anthony.
Good night, Anthony.